Good morning. I'm finishing off my chicken stock that I made this morning. I'm at the stage of straining it. Uh, I've had it boiling for 6 hours, or simmer. I boiled for about 30 minutes and then turned it to a simmer. I will list all my ingredients as I'm straining this. That'll give me a chance to communicate while I'm doing it and explain the steps I took. Uh, all the measurements for all the ingredients I'll list down below, and it's a simple, easy recipe. You could always use chicken stock for anything, and it cost about $4 to make. Oh, we're going to find out in the end, but I'm hoping to have 3 liters of stock condensed. So here we go. Uh, Bear with me, it's my first video. So I have my pot with 2 kilo of chicken neck and feet. I started off by 1 tablespoon of uh, virgin olive oil in the bottom of the pot, and then I added the chicken neck. I browned that, and then I add the chicken feet and brown that after removing the toenails from the chicken feet. I did not want the toenails in there because they have a high calcium, and I'm afraid that that would thicken my stock more than my intention, and possibly a flavor effect. Everything in the pot right now except for the liquid will be thrown away, or I will let it cool and keep it and feed it to the dogs, adding it to their dog food. It contains no nutritional value at all. After 4 hours of boiling in water, anything loses its nutritional value, and it's in the stock itself. So, with that said, the 2 kilos of chicken, 1 large onion. You don't need to peel it, just wash it off. Cut it into 4 pieces, throw it in. 2 carrots, cut in 2-inch segments. Stock and all. If it has leaves, that's even better. Um, 1 bay leaf. Um, 1 bunch of parsley. If you do not have fresh parsley, you could actually use a substitute of parsley, and it's 2 tablespoons of a dehydrated or dried parsley leaf is the equivalent of 1 bunch, and celery tops, and 1 celery stick. I did not have fresh celery, and the market didn't have them in stock, so I substituted with our celery powder. 1 celery stick equivalent is 1 tablespoon of dehydrated powder. I used 2 because of the leaf and the stalk. With celery, there's no flavor difference between the leaf and the stalk whatsoever. Um, 10 black pepper seeds, 1 tablespoon sea salt, 2 capfuls of liquid smoke. I used mesquite. Apple would be fine. Any hickory, any kind would be fine. That is actually all the ingredients. 6 liters of water. Now I will strain my stock and then boil the liquid again. You want to strain it first through a wire strainer and then add a paper towel or a cheesecloth and strain it, the stock itself, to remove all solid particles. And then I will boil it again for 1 to 2 hours, depending on how condensed I want to make this. I need 3 liters for a dish I plan to make a video tomorrow of bird's nest soup or Elmita soup from the province of Palawan, Philippines. Bird nest soup is made from a nest by a bird called swift, and very rare, very expensive. But I will be using a substitute for the nest, and I'll get into that more when I get into making that soup. So here we go. I've prepared everything already, and I will just now ladle and strain this to a point where I can control everything. I'm using a 7-liter, maybe 8-liter pot for making this dish, this stock. It would be better if you have a larger, maybe a 10-liter or quart. 1 liter is 0.94 quart. So in essence, they're really the same, especially for a dish like doing something like this. Oh, I did add some green onion stalk, and I just got that out of the garden, and I used approximately 1/4 cup. You don't need to chop it up. You don't need to do anything. I did wash the chicken before I cooked it. I also yesterday purchased a rotisserie chicken. Here in the Philippines, it's called a lechon manok, and we saved the carcass after dinner, and I added that in here. I will be using the chicken breast from that same bird to make my soup. This allowed me to get the rich earthly flavors without actually firing up the grill and smoking the meat myself, which normally that's what I would do. I would, if I did not have liquid smoke, I would have smoked this chicken feet and neck on the grill for about probably 1 hour at about 170 degrees, just enough to where the meat is no longer pink. You don't want to go past that point because you will start losing your texture in the meat, and you don't really want it falling off the bone. So you don't want to overcook it on the grill and dry it out. By doing it this way, it's easier to ladle out. And I have a system on my grill where I could control my temperature within about 10 degrees, actually. I'm very lucky with that. Let's see. I need a pot to put that in. I'm somewhat very lucky to have the pots and pans and dishes that I do have. So, I could always use some better and more of them, but I'm working on that now. But for now, well, dogs are going to love that. Ow. It looks like we're going to have about exactly 3 liters without condensing it down. So I may have to skip that step because I'd really like to make enough of the bird nest soup that I could share with some friends that I told I was making this dish. I also make a low sugar cake icing frosting that I will also make a video of. A few other dishes. Lately I've been bored, so I'm thought about starting to do some videos of cooking. I'd like to do some of Filipino dishes since I live here, and then some American dishes that maybe my Filipino friends could learn and they could cook. Okay. Looks like I got most of the big stuff out of there. Relatively easy. Now, set that over there. Put this here. Rinse this off. I would also like to try this soup that I'm going to be making tomorrow using the real nest, but I haven't confirmed the legal aspects of acquiring the nest yet, and I'm not real sure. I read something about the bird being extinct, and they don't allow you to harvest their nest anymore. Oops, I better be careful here. I need a paper towel and I got it holding the camera. Sorry about that. So I'm going to take a paper towel and get it wet to make my own cheesecloth. And this will take a little bit of time to strain through. So, when I'm all done, I will edit the video and put a text of all the ingredients, measurements, but I wanted you to see the process that I use. And that's probably going to take a while to drain. Yeah, it looks like it's going to take quite a while. So, might be best if I end this video now. And I could do an update on my quantity. And when I'm all done, I could put a text comment on how much stock I have remaining. And before I start my soup tomorrow, I could show a picture of my stock so that you can see how clear it is. Right now it's got this green color or green tint to it. It should be a golden color when I'm completely done. So that would be nice. As far as the price, the chicken feet and neck here, I paid 90 pesos a kilo. So I bought 2 kilo, one of each, one feet, one of the chicken neck. So that's 180 peso. I estimate 1 onion at 10 peso, 2 carrots at 5 peso, the parsley about 15 peso, the celery probably 3 peso. I come up with a total of probably about 200 peso, which would be $4 in American, roughly, to make a rather large amount of chicken stock that you can use for so many different dishes. I always save my stock. I make a beef dish for our dinners, and I always save my beef stock. And I also do the same on chicken. Whenever I have lechon, roasted chicken, I always save the carcass, and then I will make stock just for general purposes. Today this is a I have a exact purpose for this. Alright, well, thank you.